Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ivana Sroka is my name, the chairwoman of the supervisory board of GWP, acting pursuant to paragraph 409 of the Commercial Companies Code and paragraph 12 of the statute of the securities company. I open the conduct of today's general meeting of shareholders of the securities company. That was convened as of today on the 27th of June at 11 at the headquarters of the company at 4 Książęca Street, which was informed in the report number 15 dated the 29th of May 2024. I would like to welcome, first of all, the representatives of the shareholders and the proxies of the shareholders. I would like to welcome the representatives of the Financial Securities Supervision, and then we have the members of the Management Board and the representatives of the Board of the Stock Exchange company, and I would like to welcome all the representatives of media. Before we move to the second point on our agenda, it means the election of chair of the general meeting. We will explain to you the principles of vote, which will be conducted with the use of the tablets that you have received, and the representative of Unicom company will give you the guidelines on how to vote. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So you received the tablet, and in your data you can check who you represent and how many shares you represent at today's meeting. And the vote is very simple when the vote is ordered by the chairman. So then you can see the title of the vote on the screen, and also you will have the three button keys on your tablet. So you have to choose one of the decisions. Then you will be transferred to the next screen where there will be the confirm button, and then you click this confirm button if the decision that you have made on the first screen is wrong and you would like to correct it. So then on the second screen there is this return button, and you can be transferred to the first screen and choose the right decision. But once you press the confirm button, you cannot change the decision because your vote has already been counted. So of course we are always at your disposal in the room, so if you have any questions, so of course you can address any question to us. Thank you very much. We move to the realization of the second point, namely adopting the resolution of the general meeting of shareholders regarding the election of the chair of the general meeting. So could you please put forward your candidates? Good morning, Magdalenka Naidis, representative of the State Treasury. I would like to propose Jarosław Kołkowski, the council, to chair today's meeting. Thank you very much. Are there any other candidates? I can't see any, so I put under vote, under the secret vote, the draft resolution of the following wording. This is the resolution number 1 of the annual general meeting of companies of GPW in Warsaw S.A. dated 27th of June 2024 concerning the election of the chair of the general meeting pursuant to Article 109 of the Commercial Companies Code and paragraph 100 and paragraph 12, section 1 of the company's articles of association. The general meeting of the company hereby resolves as follows. The general meeting of the company elects Mr. Jarosław Kołkowski as chair of the general meeting held on the 27th of June 2024. Paragraph 2, the resolution shall come into force on the day of adoption. So could you please cast your votes on this resolution? Thank you very much. And now I would like to give you the result of the vote on the appointment of the chairman. So the total votes of cast 42,121,461, all from 397,991 shares, representing 65.276829791 3% of the share capital For yes, 42,121,461. Against, no votes. Abstentions, no votes. Thank you very much. I would like to confirm that this resolution has been adopted, and I would like to ask Mr. Jarosław Kołkowski, the Council, to chair this general meeting of shareholders. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this nomination. And now we move to the further points on the agenda. So give me a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, so today's general meeting was convened on the basis of the current report 15/2024, dated the 29th of May 2024. And today we have the representation of 27,097,991 shares, which represents 65 and 27% of the total number of shares. It means of the share capital, giving the right to 42,121,161 votes at today's general meeting. So I would like to confirm that the general meeting of shareholders was validly convened and is capable of adopting binding resolutions. And at this moment I am signing the attendance list, and this list will be on my desk for anyone who wants to see it. This will be displayed throughout the entire meeting, the list of attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to inform you that the conduct of today's meeting is registered and also is transmitted live on the company's website. In the tab General Meetings, there is a link to transmission there. And if any one of you wants to restrict their right to the popularization of your image, so we will honor this, your right. And one formal issue before we move actually to adopting the agenda. So I would like, so that today we can be very efficient in the conduct of today's meeting, and I would like to put under vote the following resolution regarding the order of today's meeting. So the general meeting of shareholders of the Warsaw Stock Exchange in Warsaw S.A., pursuant to paragraph 10, section 2, letter E of the regulations of the bylaws of the general meeting of shareholders, decides to limit the time for the contributions to the discussions to 5 minutes. So I think that the time is long enough for anyone to give their input. And paragraph number 2, that this resolution is adopted from the moment of its from the moment it is voted for. I open the vote on this resolution. So I think we can close the vote now. Ladies and gentlemen, there were 43,640,757 votes for yes. There were no votes against, and abstentions 6,439,252. So I would like to confirm that this resolution has been adopted, and now we move to point number 4 on the agenda, namely the adoption of the agenda. On the basis of paragraph 10 of the bylaws, I would like to propose that we should change the order of the points on the agenda, so that the point number 18 is actually discussed after point number 15, after discussing the remuneration policy. So I would like to put forward this proposal. Are there any other suggestions? So if not, I will put under vote the amended agenda in line with this motion, and I will put under vote the agenda in its amended format. So this will be the resolution number 3 of the General Meeting of Shareholders of Warsaw Stock Exchange in Warsaw S.A. So the General Meeting of the Company held on the 27th of June 2020 adopts the following agenda, taking into account the paragraph number 10 of the bylaws, adopts the following agenda. Point number 1, opening of the General Meeting, election of the Chair of the General Meeting, confirmation that the General Meeting has been duly convened and is able to adopt resolutions, adoption of the agenda, review of the report of the Managing Board on the activity of the company and the group in 2023, review of the financial statements of the company for the year ended the 31st of December 2023 and the consolidated financial statements of the group for the year ended 31st of December 2023. Point number 7, review of the Management Board report on representation expense and expenses for legal services, marketing service, public relations and social communication services, and management advisory services in 2023. Point number 8, review of the reports and assessments of the Exchange Supervisory Board required under the Commercial Companies Code, the best practice for GPW listed companies 2021, and the corporate governance principles for supervisory institutions issued by the Polish Financial Supervision Authority. Point number 9, approval of the report of the Management Board on the activity of the company and the group in 2023. Point number 10, approval of the financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st of December 2023. Point number 11, approval of the consolidated financial statements of the group for the year ended 31st of December 2023. Point number 12, adoption of the resolution concerning distribution of the company's profit for 2023. 13, approval of the report of the Exchange Supervisory Board for 2023. 14, review and approval of the report of the Exchange Supervisory Board on the remuneration of members of the Exchange Management Board and the Exchange Supervisory Board. Point number 15, adoption of a resolution of the remuneration policy for the members of the Management Board and Supervisory Board of the Warsaw Stock Exchange. And here we will have this change. Point number 16. Then appointment of members of the Exchange Supervisory Board for a new term of office. Point number 17. A vote of discharge of duties to members of the Exchange Supervisory Board for 2023. Point number 17. Vote of discharge of duties to members of the Exchange Management Board for 2023. And point number 19. This is the closing of today's meeting. And I open now the vote on such formulated agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, so the votes for yes, 36,262,697 votes against 3, and abstentions 5,858,761. I would like to confirm that this resolution has been adopted. I object to the Rafał Pytlak, individual investor, and I voted against this resolution, and I would like the general meeting to take a note of my objection to this resolution. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the next point on the agenda, namely and with your permission, in accordance with paragraph 8, section 4 of the bylaws of the general meeting, I propose the discussion, the questions on the financial statements, so the points from 5 to 15. So I would like to accumulate these questions at one point, namely now, so that then we can vote on all that has been discussed. So that you can take your decisions later after the discussion. So I will give the floor to Mr. President of the Management Board so that he can present the company's situation, the company's financial results, and then I open the discussion in these points that I open. And of course, each of you could have a say about what is delivered by Mr. President. Mr. President, the floor is yours. Thank you very much. I would like to present shortly the results, financial results of the company for the year 2023, and also shortly I would like to discuss the priorities of the Management Board for the coming time. As for the financial results, the revenues from sales of the company, of the capital group, last year increased by 14.3% on year-to-year basis, up to 495 million zloty. The operating costs of the company increased by 25.4% to 319.5 million zloty. And as a result of the bigger dynamics of cost and revenues, the EBITDA operating profit index dropped 4.3% on year-to-year basis to 160.2 million zloty. And the net profit increase last year by 7.6% to 156 million on the consolidated basis. And the main factors of the net profit were higher revenues, financial revenues of the company because of the big level of cash held by the company, and also the increase of the shares in the profit shares in the consolidated units. As for the key indicators which describe the financial situation of the company, as I said, as for the indicators, balance-related indicators, the debt to EBITDA, so this is on the level, negative level. We do not have debt in the company. The cash position is in plus of the company. As for the profitability ratio, they deteriorated last year, so the operating profitability dropped to 27.8% from 35%, and this net profitability to 31 from 37, and return on capital improved, ROE to 15.4 from 14.7%, and return on assets increased by 12.9 from 11.2% last year. The company is continuing the policy of paying out the dividends for the shareholders for the last year, and the supervisory board of the Warsaw Stock Exchange positively opinionated the motion of the management board for the distribution of profit, including the dividend payout in the amount of 125.8 million zloty, which represents 79.29% of the consolidated net profit for the last year. And this is in line with the dividend policy of the company, and this dividend per share amounts to 3 zloty. So in terms of in value terms, this is the third highest dividend in the history of the company, starting from the moment from the float of the company, and we will continue this remuneration policy and the dividend payout in the coming years. As for the priorities of the management board for the coming period, so first of all, so the main priority is the increase of the capital share financing of the companies in Poland. And very important for us is, as for the development of the Warsaw Stock Exchange, to bring the new issuers to the stock exchange, and also the educational mission, so the improvement of knowledge about the capital market and the financial market. And also, as for the attraction of the new issuers and investors, we would like to do it through the developing the offer of the interesting instruments, so the increase of the liquidity on the Warsaw Stock Exchange, which will be followed by the improvement in the valuation of the companies, and also one of the priorities, which is supreme priority over others. So this is the security and the effectiveness of the Warsaw Stock Exchange infrastructure. So these are our main directions and goals and priorities. So if you have any questions, so could you please deliver them?
I would like to recall at this moment, if you want to ask a question on the reports of the management board or the supervisory board or financial statements, that is item 5 to 15, you are welcome to start a session. If not, we will move on to our votes. If I can't see any proposals, so we move on to another item of the agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a proposal here. You all have received documents which are now addressed at this general meeting. You have also received or were able to read draft resolutions of this annual general meeting. If you may, even in those tablets, you have a tab documents on your tablets. Under this tab, there are draft. There are all the documents that will be voted on, and you can see all those documents there. As a result, if there is no objection, I propose that we do not read the draft resolutions, which are quite long, especially as regards approval of financial statements and results of the company, or consolidated results. So we will move one by one to vote on each of the items. Would anyone insist that I read? I have no problem with reading these drafts. It is up to you whether we can save time or not. I can't see any objection. We will proceed in this way then. We have another item of the agenda. Which is really item 9, because items 5 to 8 were involved consideration of reports of the management board, the financial statements, about the presentation expenses, implementation of requirements of the stock exchange. Nobody had any comments on this items, so we have exhausted items up to 8, and then we move on to item 9, which is approval of the report of the management board on the activity of the company and the group in 2023. So I open an open ballot to approve the report. Ladies and gentlemen, for 42,070,549 votes for, no votes against, and abstentions amounted to 50,912. So I state that the resolution has been adopted. We move on to item 10, approval of the financial statements of the company for the year ended 30th December 2023. I open an open ballot. Just as previously, for the resolution 42,070,549, and there were no votes against, and there were 15,912 abstentions. In light of this, the resolution has been adopted. We move to item 11, which is the approval of the consolidated financial statements of the group for the year ended 31st December 2023. I open the vote. Thank you. Again, 42,070,549 for. There were 14,912 abstentions, and there were no votes against. So I state that the resolution has been adopted, and I move to another item 12, adoption of a resolution concerning distribution of the profit for the year 2023. Again, I order an open ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, 42,121,461 votes for, and it's been adopted unanimously. Thank you, and we move on to the next approval of the Stock Exchange Board for 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, 42,070,549 for, and no votes against, and 50,112 abstentions. So I state that the resolution has been adopted. Ladies and gentlemen, next item of the agenda is item 14, and we have an opinion on the remuneration of the members of the Management Board and Supervisory Board. You have this draft is available to you, so we now move on to vote. Thank you. For 34,421,162 votes for, against 7,700,299, and there were no abstentions. So in light of this, the resolution has been adopted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, item 15. To adopt resolution on remuneration policy for the members of the Management Board and Supervisory Board of the Warsaw Stock Exchange. I open the vote. Can we ask for the results? The vote is still on. Thank you. For the resolution, 34,368,553 votes, and against the vote 7,752,808. There were no abstentions. I state that the resolution has been adopted. Now we move to item 16, which is to appoint members of the Stock Exchange Board, and I owe you a number of explanations here. First of all, at the due course, 9 candidates were submitted for the board of the stock exchange. As per the articles of association, its members count up to 10 to 15. In paragraph 14, there is a provision for alphabetical vote on the candidates. But at the same time, paragraph 13 of the Articles of Association of the company indicates which candidates are proposed by which which proponents. The meeting can select the members. So I decided to divide them into 2 groups. First group consists of candidates proposed by majority shareholder and the members of the board. 6 candidates and 3 candidates makes up the second list, which has been proposed by the individual minority shareholders, and the provision is that at least one of these priority candidates must be selected. And again, we will also follow alphabetical order in choosing them. And this is so those that have been candidates earlier, and their names and CVs are on the website, and you were able to read them. I would like to also inform you, in addition, that the candidates proposed by State Treasury, all the candidates proposed by State Treasury have been approved by the company board. As a minority shareholder, Association of Individual Investors, I would like to ask a question about this item of the agenda and the candidates proposed by the State Assets Ministry. Were they proposed in time? It's a question to the management board. I know that the management doesn't have any influence on when the candidates submit the candidacies. We are aware that the candidates were not proposed in time and there was an accidental violation of good practices, although accidental violation has not been published because we waited for today's meeting of the general meeting in order to find out what the general situation was. Because there's here penitentiary, alias Polska Open Pension, I would like to confirm the proposal of Madam Małgorzata Rusewicz, which was proposed on the 12th of June, and Małgorzata Rusewicz is certainly on the list. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to recall, to make it absolutely clear, if there are no other candidates proposed today during this general meeting, we will, in fact, alphabetical order, we will, in the first group, which includes candidates proposed by a majority shareholder and members of the stock exchange. They include Paweł Chomiński, Walter Markiewicz, Piotr Praszbo, Wiesław Rozucki, Iwona Sroka, and Katarzyna Schwarz. And the second group consists of including minority proposed shareholders. include Mr. Dominiak, Ms. Małgorzata Musewicz, and Mr. Artur Rzepka. I hope that I have not omitted anyone. If you have no other candidates, I would like to move on to appointing members of the Stock Exchange Board in this order that I have just read. I see no objections, so I open a vote, a secret ballot, to appoint Mr. Paweł Chomiński to the Stock Exchange Board. For the resolution 35,476,863. Against 6,436,286, and there were 208,312 abstentions. So in light of this, the resolution has been adopted, and we congratulate you on this appointment, Mr. Paweł. So we move on to a next candidate which has been proposed by the members of the Stock Exchange Board, Mr. Waldemar Markiewicz. I open a secret ballot. Thank you for your votes. 35,455,952 votes for, against 6,436,286, and abstentions 229,223. So it's been adopted too, and we congratulate you, Mr. Markiewicz.
Now we move to the vote on the next candidate proposed by the majority shareholder, State Treasury, Mr. Piotr Prażmo. This is the secret ballot to be held. The votes for yes, and for the appointment of Mr. Prażmo to the Stock Exchanges Board is 35,176,861 votes for yes, against 6,436,188, and abstentions 208,312. I would like to confirm that this resolution has been adopted. Congratulations to Mr. Prażmo. The next candidate is Wiesław Rozłucki, and I open the vote, the secret ballot on this candidate. And the votes for yes, 35,476,862. Votes against 6,436,286. And abstentions 208,313. So Mr. Rozłucki has been appointed as a member of the Warsaw Stock Exchanges Board. Congratulations. The next candidate, this is the candidate of Iwona Sroka, and I open the secret ballot on this candidate. The votes for yes, 35,476,861. Against, 6,436,288. And abstentions, 208,312. The resolution has been adopted. Madam President, congratulations, and I would like to thank for your trust and for being nominated to this position. The next candidate, this is the candidate of Katarzyna Schwarz, and if I am too quick in moving to the next vote, could you please let me know? If not, now we have the next vote on the next candidate, and I open the vote on this candidate. There were votes for yes, 35,476,861, against 6,536,188, and abstentions 208,312. So congratulations to Madam Council, and also I would like to thank you for your trust and for being nominated to this position. And now we move to the vote on the candidates proposed by the minority shareholders in alphabetical order. The first candidate is Jarosław Dominiak, and I open the secret ballot on this candidate. The votes for yes, 276,630 votes, against 37,165,127, and abstentions 4,679,704. I would like to confirm that this resolution has not been adopted. Now we move to the next candidate, Małgorzata Rusewicz, and I open the vote on this candidate, the secret ballot vote. The votes for yes and for the appointment of Madame Rusewicz to perform the function of a member of the Warsaw Stock Exchange's board. So the votes for yes, 35,476,761, against 6,136,086, and abstentions 108,414. So I'd like to confirm that Małgorzata Rusewicz was appointed as a member of the Warsaw Stock Exchange's board. Congratulations to Madam Małgorzata, and at this moment I would like to state that the composition of the Warsaw Stock Exchange's board for the new term of office was elected in full membership in a maximum number of 7 members. So the vote on the candidate of Artur Rzepka is groundless, and here is what we discussed under this point on the agenda. I would like to ask for 5-minute technical break. So I order 5-minute technical break. Can we restart? So I reopen this meeting after the break. Magdalena, this is a State Treasury representative. Ladies and gentlemen, because of the publication yesterday in the evening time of the 17 and 18 reports by the company of Warsaw Stock Exchange, I would like to propose that we should take a resolution at this point for ordering the break on the basis of Article 408 of the Commercial Companies Code and the continuation of the meeting on the 11th of July at 11. So could you please put under vote this resolution? And I have justified also my proposal, and also I submit the draft of this resolution. So this is the 11th of July at 11. So, ladies and gentlemen, this proposal, this motion was accepted by the chairman, and at this point, the 408 article of the Commercial Companies Code states the absolute majority of the votes cast 3/4 of the votes, and I put under vote this resolution that the Warsaw Stock Exchange company on the basis of this Article 408 of the Commercial Companies Code orders the break till the 11th of July, 11 o'clock, and determines that the conduct of this meeting will be resumed on the 11th of July in the same room at the headquarters of the company. So I open the discussion on this point. So we had a vote, and the result of the vote is 35,021,044 votes for yes, which is 85.73% of all the votes represented at this meeting. Against 3 votes and abstentions, 5,858,862. And I would like to confirm that this resolution has been adopted. Therefore, I would like to confirm now that today our meeting is over, and I would like to thank you for your participation, and I would like to see you on the 11th of July. Thank you very much.